What's up guys, it's Casey McKeown back again with another video this week, and I've got a special one for you today. Now I saw this custom house just hit the market in a very premium area of Southlake, Texas. If you're familiar with the DFW area, I don't even need to necessarily go into Southlake itself, but I'm gonna walk you through the house and kind of give you an idea of what I'm looking forward to probably in the next 2 to 3 years to build my own much larger custom house, and a couple aspects of this house in which I really love, and some aspects of this house that fall short based on the price point. So first things first, this is the grand opening entrance here. You've got a humongous tiled wall and fireplace here that just opens you to this beautiful sitting area that you can look out to your beautiful pool. One thing that's great about this that you're probably not gonna get anywhere else in Southlake is the lot size. Now I'd have to look up exactly how large this is, but I think it's probably 1.5 acres, close to 2 acres. So it's a tremendously large lot in an area that you just don't get this kind of lot whatsoever. Now first things first, we're gonna head towards the right side of the wing here. You've got your spiral staircase here. There are some things that just don't really make sense and more are for furnishing purposes, like this little sitting nook here. Honestly, a lot of this stuff is just for show. I can also tell you that TV on the backdrop here is probably not very seldom even used. They've got a huge wine cellar here. This will walk you right into the dining and living room area. A couple things I personally like is a little bit more contrast. This is all white. Also, these kind of cabinets are not necessarily my favorite. But again, I'm not here to critique the house. I'm here to show you some aspects of the house that I am going to apply to my next dream custom home. So they've got a nice fireplace here that does break up all of the light colors, and this breaks it up into the living room here. Again, all of this has great views into your backyard. Now, if I'm really trying to be a big critique here, they went with basically 3 subdivided glass doors. So they have a sliding glass door here that you can pull all the way to the left, and they basically mirrored that 3 times along this wall. What would have been great is if they have, and obviously it would have cost, you know, a substantial amount more, was just one large glass door that you basically pull all the way down to where it actually is able to go into the wall. So this entire area would be just open to your backyard. Now, again, still beautiful views, huge lot, a ton of privacy, but you can see where, you know, a little bit more touch to the house could have gone a long way. This is one aspect that, you know, if you guys have been following my channel back in 2020, I built my own dream home. Built my own dream home downtown. And there's a lot of things that I've learned from building my own home that I need to apply to, you know, my next home. Honestly, I've been a little bit spoiled in terms of being able to build my own home in 2020 and probably be building another home in 2024 maybe. But this is one thing that I absolutely want. A media room. A media room not just together, but a media room downstairs. So me, myself with 2 dogs. I'd love to have my dogs in here hanging out with me or hanging out with a significant other and be able to watch a movie together and hang out, because most of the time, the only TV that I watch is upstairs, and unfortunately, I don't bring my dogs upstairs. So with that being said, media room is a huge want for me. So we're headed down this next hallway to the garage, but before we head to the garage, we've got a utility room. Now again, I'm not trying to buy a house based off of my dogs, but another thing that I've learned that I truly want is a much larger utility space on the first floor that's gonna have a dog wash area. Because as of right now, I've gotta take my dogs upstairs and have them use my bath in my shower, which is obviously not ideal. We're gonna head into what I think is a pretty cool idea, not something that I necessarily need in my house, because personally, I don't have a significant other or girlfriend, so I don't need a man cave. But what was really cool is they did 4 separate bay doors here. Did a little bit more modern look, as you can see from the outside of the house too. This is a very modern and sleek home. I was figuring I was headed to the exterior of the house here with a side door, but this is a true man cave. So walking in here, not just a man cave to be able to watch TV, but you've got a full-fledged kitchen. A full-fledged kitchen to the point where you even have Wolf appliances and Sub-Zero fridge. We're talking like very expensive man cave. And they even have an access door here to the backyard and to the pool, which is, in my opinion, tremendous. And you can tell that it's a man cave when you go to the bathroom here and see that, yep, a nice little urinal there for the gentleman. So one aspect of the kitchen that I do love is if you take a look back here, you actually have even more extension of cabinets and a huge pantry here. You can tell that the individuals that are living here are very tidy and very, very organized. Walking back around here, they do have one bathroom that I can tell you is abstract to say the least. Not to say that I hate it. I do want a little bit more color, and you can see that this bathroom itself is very different than the rest of the house. It's very, very dark and sleek and just much different than the rest of the house, which is all just, very light and bright colors. This is your traditional guest suite downstairs where they've got an entire ensuite. Very, very nice. Again, the choice of cabinets and hardware are something that I personally don't love. I would rather a little bit more color here and a little bit more dark to light ratio. But again, that's just my personal preference. This house was built in 2017 too, so my house that was built in 2020, a little bit more updated, or I guess a little bit more trendy. Again, I'm not here to bash on this house, and I will give you guys a little time to guess what the price of this house is. Now, we haven't seen the whole house, but go ahead and pause this video real quick and leave a comment down in the comment section below if you've made it this far in the video, and let me know so far what you think this home is priced at. So with that being said, we're gonna head to the other side of the house, which again, if you're heading to the other side of the house, you can still see just how great these windows and doors have done for the house. Obviously, it brings a ton of natural light in here, but there's no place in this house that you're not gonna be able to see the focal point, which is clearly this outside living space. And in Texas, especially for the heat that we have right now, we're on record pace for just a ridiculously hot summer. It's nice to be able to have some place to go out and jump in and get cooled off. So, other side of the house, this is another aspect of my next home that I build that I'm absolutely going to have. So my upstairs office honestly doesn't get a lot of use. I work most of the time from my kitchen table or my island table because my office is upstairs and I enjoy, again, being around my dogs. So a downstairs office to be able to work out of and have my dogs hang out with me and not have to necessarily go to the office, this would be a huge asset. Now flipping this around here, I'm not a big fan of home gyms. I personally like to socialize at a public gym, but a significant other may not love going to the gym, so this is certainly an option that could come, but it's not something that I'm personally going to seek out, probably on my next house. But office, definitely. Media room, definitely. Pool will be an absolute. And we're headed to the very last part of the downstairs, which is the master bedroom. So heading here to the living space, again, they are very, very just minimalistic in terms of their decor, color, very light and bright and open to the rest of the house. You can always see as well, again, we're talking access to the view of the backyard, which again, is really what you want to see. One part of the house that I think they really failed pretty horribly at was the master bath. I can tell you my home is priced a quarter value of this home if I'm lucky. And my bathroom, it's smaller in square feet, but just overall finish out, there's not a lot of difference. So when you obviously are expending what you're spending on this house, you're hoping for a pretty nice bathroom and closet. Now I can tell you, closet space, pretty good, okay? You can see this is a his and hers or a separated closet here. This is obviously hers, okay? Ton of space, ton of closet space, ton of space for her shoes. And switching over to the other spectrum, this is also her. I'm just kidding. This is actually hers and his as well, but you can see still plenty of room and plenty of closet space. So closet space they didn't necessarily fail on. I just feel like this part of the bathroom, and maybe it's just the fact that I'm not a fan of this specific tile, it could have been a lot better, me personally. Now the next aspect of the house I'm gonna show you is just the exterior space, the pool, the hangout area, the lot. I'm not gonna go upstairs, even though it is a 2-story house. I can tell you my next house is gonna be a 1-story house. Now, the 2nd story here is just 4 kids' bedrooms, not a lot to show you. I'll give you some B-roll real quick here. But as you can see, guys, it's just regular bedrooms, not even a flex space for kids to hang out with. A majority of the hangout and flex space is gonna be this downstairs area. So let's go ahead and go outside. All right, guys, probably what matters the most in homes nowadays is what is the exterior going to look like, the backyard, the living space. A lot of the time you're spending your summers out here in Texas outside. Hopefully it's covered because it is extremely hot, but you do have these nice water features here. Not an overly large pool, but it's still very serviceable. And obviously you have your peak spa over here that overflows back into your large pool. And you also have your covered space over here, which has plenty of room for entertainment. Now, there are some things that I would personally do. I've seen in a lot of houses, and just being in real estate myself, there's actually slide down barriers that you can keep basically insects out of, or you can keep this area shaded a lot more. That's just little things that can be done here to make this just a little bit sweeter. Tucked away in the back here before you take your side entrance back into the house, you've got your cookout and grill area, which is perfect, again, for entertaining all your folks' needs. So guys, this is listed, if you were curious, at nearly $5 million. Now, obviously the price tag comes also with the location and lot size. It's about 4.7 million and only recently listed in Southlake, Texas. Again, the lot size here is a big reason why the cost is where it's at. Also, almost 8,000 square feet of a home with an incredible pool, and it's only 4 or 5 years old. We're gonna have to see if this house sells and if it sells quick, but still, the beauty of being in real estate is the fact that I've grown from buying an old aged duplex in 2017 and living in a rough area of town to 2020 building my own custom house that I live in now. And I can say within the next 3 or 4 years, or 2 to 3 years, I'm looking to build something not necessarily this large, but what's nice about real estate is the growth that you are able to take and apply a lot of what I've learned as well as what I've seen. For example, stuff in this house, such as the media room, such as the downstairs office, such as the pool potentially. I can apply a lot of this to what I'm looking to build for my next custom house, because what I can tell you is after building my house in 2020, I've learned a lot. I've also learned that I really didn't customize it entirely as much as I should have, so I can tell you my next house is gonna be off the charts. Hopefully this home tour showed you guys just a little bit of what a nice house in a prestigious area of North Texas is like. Again, not all the homes in this area are listed at $4.7 million, but when you get a house this large on a lot this big, it's gonna come at a huge price tag. Make sure to like and subscribe, it really does help, and stay tuned for the next video.